Today we journey back to 1250 and one of the most disastrous military campaigns of the Middle Ages, the Seventh Crusade. King Louis IX of France launched it in 1248, 4 years after making a deathbed vow to retake Jerusalem from Muslim control. His plan: conquer Egypt first, secure the food supply, then march on the Holy City. It did not go according to plan. In February 1250, Louis and his army were crushed at the Battle of Al Mansurah in the Nile Delta. Louis himself was captured and held for ransom. But riding with Louis was Jean de Joinville, French nobleman, royal councilor, and eyewitness. He survived the battle and wrote it all down. Here is his first-hand account.
I and my knights had decided to go and attack some Turks who were loading their baggage in their camp on our left. So we fell on them. As we were pursuing them through the camp, I caught sight of a Saracen on the point of mounting his horse. One of his knights was holding the bridle. At the moment he had both his hands on the saddle to pull himself up. I gave him a thrust with my lance just under the armpits and struck him dead. On seeing this, his knight left his lord and the horse, and thrusting his lance at me as I passed, caught me between the shoulders, pinning me down to the neck of my horse in such a way that I could not draw the sword at my belt. I therefore had to draw the sword attached to my horse. When he saw me with my sword drawn, he withdrew his lance and left me. When I and my knights came out of the Saracens' camp, we found what we reckoned to be about 6,000 Turks, who had left their tents and retreated into the fields. As soon as they saw us, they came charging towards us and killed Hugues de Tricmentel, Lord of Conflans, who was with me bearing a banner. I and my knights spurred on our horses and went to the rescue of Raoul de Wanou, another of my company, whom they had struck to the ground. As I was coming back, the Turks thrust at me with their lances. Under the weight of their attack, my horse was brought to its knees, and I went flying forward over its ears. I got up as soon as ever I could, with my shield at my neck and sword in hand. One of my knights, named Erard de Civray, may God grant him grace, came to me and advised our drawing back towards a ruined house where we could wait for the king who was on his way. As we were going there, some on foot and some on horseback, a great body of Turks came rushing at us, bearing me to the ground and riding over my body, so that my shield went flying from my neck. As soon as they had passed, Erard de Civray came back to me and took me with him to the walls of the tumble-down house. Here we were, joined by Hugues de Caux, Frédéric de Loupé, and Renaud de Menoncourt. While we were there, the Turks attacked us from all sides. Some of them got into the house and pricked us with their lances from above. My knights asked me to hold on to their horses' bridles, which I did, for fear the beasts should run away. Then they put up a vigorous defense against the Turks, for which I may say they were afterwards highly praised by all men of good standing in the army, both those who witnessed their bravery and those who heard of it later. During this incident, Hugues de Caux received 3 wounds in the face from a lance, and so did Raoul de Wanou, while Frédéric de Loupé had a lance thrust between his shoulders, which made so large a wound that the blood poured from his body as if from the bunghole of a barrel. A blow from one of the enemy's swords landed in the middle of Erard de Civray's face, cutting through his nose so that it was left dangling over his lips. At that moment the thought of St. James came into my mind, and I prayed to him, "Good St. James, come to my help and save us in our great need." Just as I had uttered this prayer, Erard de Civray said to me, "My lord, if you think that neither I nor my heirs will incur reproach for it, I will go and fetch you help from the Comte d'Anjou, whom I see in the fields over there." I said to him, "My dear man, it seems to me you would win great honor for yourself if you went for help to save our lives. Your own, by the way, is also in great danger." I spoke truly, for he died of his wound. He consulted the other knights who were there, and they all gave him the same advice as I had given him. After hearing what they said, he asked me to let go his horse, which I was holding by the bridle, so I let him take it. He went over to the Comte d'Anjou and begged him to come to the rescue of me and my people. A person of some importance who was with the count tried to dissuade him, but he said he would do as my knight had asked. So he turned his horse's head to come to our help, and a number of his sergeants set spurs to their horses as well. As soon as the Saracens saw them coming, they turned to leave us. Pierre d'Auberive, who was riding in front of the sergeants with his sword clenched in his fist, saw them leaving and charged right into the midst of the Saracens who were holding Raoul de Wanou, and rescued him, sorely wounded. As I stood there on foot with my knights, wounded as I have told you, King Louis came up at the head of his battalions with a great sound of shouting, trumpets, and kettle drums. He halted with his troops on a raised causeway. Never have I seen a finer or more handsome knight. He seemed to tower head and shoulders above all his people. On his head was a gilded helmet, and a sword of German steel was in his hand. The moment he stopped, those good knights in his division, whom I have already named to you, together with other valiant knights of his, flung themselves right at the Turks. It was, I can assure you, a truly noble passage of arms, for no one there drew either bow or crossbow. It was a battle of maces against swords between the Turks and our people, with both sides inextricably entangled.
If you enjoy hearing history straight from the people who lived it, like and subscribe for more Between the Timelines, where history speaks for itself.